What's going on, boys? Welcome back to another episode of Building Appalachian Adventure. I will not lie to you. I am just kind of been in a mood the last couple of days. I can't explain it. I've really felt little motivation to work on this project, but I've been forcing myself to do it because, well, to be completely honest with you, YouTube sucks, and if you're not constantly putting out content, then your, stuff isn't really put into people's feeds as much. And upon doing other research, if I talk about other varying topics and use certain language that may be deemed offensive to sensitive snowflake ears, then that also has a lasting impact as well. So with that being said, if you want to get more of this content, see more Valley America, more Hershey Park 2020, more Planet Coaster stuff, and in-park footage coming very shortly here. Like I mentioned before, I will be down in Carowinds here in a couple weeks. Opening weekend for Copperhead Strike, and yeah, so if you want more of that, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and have I mentioned that you need to like, comment, and subscribe. Any sort of, interaction with these videos really helps out the channel, and I do appreciate each and every one of you for taking time out of your oh-so-busy days to check this stuff out. So, let's discuss what's going on here. If you saw the last video, I will link that in a card in 3, 2, 1. Okay, it's a minute 23. There we go. So, I had the Huss giant frisbee right here, and I just didn't like that. It was very, and there was a voice crack. I didn't like that. It was very crowded. It just looked kind of, I don't know. I really, and I noticed this as I've been kind of exploring the park some more. This Midway was a bit rushed, and I do apologize for that. There are just a lot of things I wasn't happy with, and just kind of looked meh. And again, that's just getting back on my, my crap and getting too ambitious with the project, building too big of an outline, and then I look at it and it's just empty, it's meh, it's just not good in my opinion. And I don't really hone in on the little details or anything like that, and then I get a little discouraged looking at it. So I wanted to go into this video and the last, day of building or so with an emphasis on detail and focusing in on smaller parts of this Midway. So I took out the giant frisbee. I'll find another spot for that in the park because, what is a Cedar Fair park without one? And we'll find another spot for that. I wanted to fill it in with this Tri-Storm kind of thing. This is the same ride you find in Candy Apple Grove at King's Dominion, the Bad Apple. And I wanted to really doll it up, make it look nice, and, have some pavers around it, some hedges, some nice brick look, and just make it look nice. So that's what's going on right here. And, yeah, I really have nothing else to say to that. On that subject. I also do some work here on the dodgems, kind of put it all on one giant concrete slab to kind of tie it all together. I don't think I'm going to go with a custom ride skin for that, just because I like the classic look of it. It looks cool, it looks nice. We'll doll it up with some fencing, and you're going to see some fencing here in a second, so buckle up, boys and girls. Look at me being, no, I'm not going to get on topics like that. But yeah, just a lot of, pavers and stuff, tying everything together, making it look nice. And one thing I'm noticing about building this and just a more, I guess, realistic park is I feel like I've been a little too afraid to go into too much detail or, kind of, I guess classing it up is the right word for it when it comes to, a Cedar Fair park. I think I've kind of had this mindset where these are just, generic parks and, there isn't a lot of attention to detail or care for, how things look and, maintaining it and making it look nice. And I think that's kind of an unfair assumption to have about these parks. Because, I go to a lot of, well, not a lot. I've been to 3 Carowinds, Cedar Point, and King's Dominion. And this summer I plan on getting to a lot more of the Cedar Fair properties. But they really have been upping their game, within the past half decade or decade or so, just making their properties look nice. And I think that's one thing I really have been neglecting. So I'm not going to try and hold back and make things look less detailed or nice or anything. I mean, crap, if you look at Copperhead Strike down at Carowinds, some of the updates that are coming from the park, the theming is incredible. Just how immersive the new Blue Ridge Junction and everything is in that part of the park. They're building a freaking fireplace. I mean, that's some, in my opinion, Anheuser-Busch era when they owned the Busch Gardens parks and they were, well, good. Kind of attention to detail and stuff like that. So I'm gonna really just from here on out take my time on detailing smaller parts of this Midway and the park and everything, And I am going to get over to the Outer Banks section of the park, and one thing I'm definitely going to do is scale down those lighthouses and actually make them look more realistic. That was again a rushed build, but I think I might be being a little bit too hard on myself here in the sense of I'm kind of saying, oh my God, everything I've been working on is just absolute garbage. It's crap. It doesn't look good. I'm finding as I explore my builds more and kind of take a step back and look at them there's a lot of potential and a lot of good things in them. And then I have to go back in and fix them and, add some detail here, add some detail there. So I'm really, I got to stop being so hard on myself, but I'm really kind of learning my building method more and more as I go along with doing this stuff. And I really think watching these time lapses and recording them and then watching these videos, and while I'm going through the editing process of the video, I'm sitting here thinking, damn, I could fix that. Oh, there's a cuss word. I'm trying to cuss less. It's just, there's a lot of things in my life. I'm going off on a tangent right now, but I think this is worth saying. There's a lot of things in my life right now where I'm just kind of looking at it and going, you're an adult, dude. I mean, I'm 21 years old, so there is a certain expectation to act like an adult, but I think there's also an expectation to still be a little juvenile in some senses, but I'm just not, into that crap anymore. I really, there are a lot of things in my life where I'm just looking at it going, wow, I need to, maybe act a little bit more mature here, maybe not put my opinion here or there if people don't ask for it and stuff like that. And that's all just kind of the growing up process and the growing pains with reflecting on yourself and your life and going, okay, take a step back, guy. You're really kind of overstepping some boundaries here or there. Maybe mellow it down a little bit and just hone in on your craft. And that carries over. And again, I don't intend to make this deep on purpose. It just kind of happens. I'm just kind of a deep guy, not trying to toot my own horn. But that really does hone in on my building and stuff when it comes to, these projects and these parks and stuff. Like a good example right now, look at this little segue I'm about to do right here. A good example is that Manifest Destiny sign I just flashed. I have to go back and fix that. Because when I edited it, God, that sounds weird. When I did the edit on my editing software, Photoshop or whatever, it looked good, but then you import it in the game, and then the lighting kind of hits it, and it looks weird. So I'm going to go back and fix that. And I'll dive deeper into that sign during the real-time overview here at the end of the video, which will be coming. My God, this is 15 minutes of time lapse. It's been a minute since I've done one of these, so it's really kind of just pulling things out of thin air right now to talk about. But I'm going to go back and fix that sign. Getting back on topic, again, what we were talking about is my building style is just I plop a bunch of crap down, and then I go, okay, I can fix this, I can fix that. So I apologize if it just seems some of these videos seem a little redundant. It's just a whole lot of trial and error, and I think I'm going to try to embrace that a little bit more with the upcoming videos and projects and stuff. And, again, I haven't been putting out nearly as much. It used to be at least every other day, but now I just got other things going on, work stuff, and, family affairs to attend to and focus on more personal things. The excitement from when I first started doing this has kind of died down a little bit, I won't lie to you guys, but I still really do enjoy doing it. So it's just going to be a lot of trial and error and, revisiting other things. And I'm just now remembering I was talking about lighthouses a couple minutes ago. So I'm going to go back into the OBX Villa, fix those lighthouses, scale them down a little bit, and just make them look like nice scenery pieces opposed to full functioning lighthouses. I mean, it's a cool concept, don't get me wrong, but it needs to be fixed and addressed because they kind of, as I look around this park as it's coming together more and more, they look kind of just out of place and big and bulky and gross. So I'll go back and fix those and then get to work on some beach houses and try and tie together that section of the park. And I have a pretty good idea for what the segue from that section of the park to the back Midway is going to be. So we'll be working on that here shortly. And what we're doing right here is building some awnings. Very generic looking awnings. I'm very content with how these turned out. They're going to stay for the queue for Manifest Destiny. I apologize there. And yeah, they're just very generic, Cedar Fair kind of awnings and stuff like that. And I like how it turned out. So, and the one consistent thing I'm trying to do is whenever I use these art pieces in a sense of a roof, I'm going to go with the purple that is at the front entrance. And this is the same shade of purple that is at the under part of the roof of the station, I guess. And you'll see that here in a second. But yeah, it's just, this is kind of what a typical, queue looks like in a Cedar Fair park. I really don't have much to say on that subject either. So this was a pretty easy build. I'm going to go in and put some of those queue line fans in and stuff for those hot summer days, and some lighting, this or the other thing. Wanted to fill it in with more foliage, trees and fences and stuff. I haven't done a good building time lapse in a while, like where I build a building. So be on the lookout for something along, that avenue when it comes to, I guess, the beach houses is probably the next move. I do have an idea for a cool restaurant, and I've been looking at the street view of King's Dominion. It's going to be very inspired by the pizza parlor in the Candy Apple Grove. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, so here is some queue building, I guess, because that's, the hard-hitting content the people need and deserve. But it looks good. It turned out pretty well. It's a good segue into the station, and it's, it's kind of generic. I have a couple ideas for rides that are going to be very heavily themed, and, well, not even heavily themed, just like kind of the plazas and the queues and the buildings and stuff. But those will come at a later date, because, stuff like Top Thrill Dragster and everything, it's very generic, and this is very generic, and it just looks kind of sporadic. So here's some more work I did on the Midway off camera. I built these little kind of, because if you've ever been on a Midway, there are a lot of kind of smaller standalone shops, and I knew I needed to fill in these big wide paths some more. So I built that little shop right there. I specifically drew inspiration from it from a street view in the Candy Apple Grove at King's Dominion. Another thing I did was take Rebel Trillion skee ball and is it basket toss? Yeah, basket toss, and kind of tied those together, made them all one color, and took the trimming and pushed it over just to kind of make it flow together and look like one building. Built another one of those stands. Well, it's actually the same one I showed, just tied together. Finally put it back. I know, little lazy details. Back on these game stands. I'm going to work in actual games and then guide around to building the outline of the hydraulic building where theoretically the hydraulic drum for this Stratocoaster would go. That was very inspired by Top Thrill Dragsters. I got to, add more realistic elements to that. And here you can see the, I guess you could call it a trim I built around the Tri-Storm. Not sure what a name for that's going to be. And it's all just flowed together on one concrete slab with the bumper cars. Again, we'll doll that up with more, brick-looking stuff and fences and everything for the queue. Kind of make it all flow together as one. Added a back fence. This is very boring. I do apologize, boys and girls. But yeah, that's what's been going on. I've really been kind of debating if I'm going to fix these kind of center, patches of foliage and make them look more landscaped and stuff, kind of like you see at realistic parks, or just keep them kind of overgrown and everything like that. I do like the overgrown look, though. That's the thing. It just kind of looks more natural and adds more of, I guess, my touch to things. But yeah, that's really what's been up here at Valley America. I don't have a whole lot to show. I just wanted to, put on another video and show you that I am working on improving this, because it really isn't, in its final form. And I guess that's the point of these construction time lapses, because one day this will be one done project, and it'll be on the Steam Workshop for you guys to download, enjoy, and critique. Here's a closer look at the Manifest Destiny sign. That is a map from 1823 before westward expansion, so there's a little nod to my love for history there. And I do need to change the color of the font. I don't really... That's basically the outline. That's going to be the sign. It's just I got to, do some color work on it and edit some saturation and, boring Photoshop, things like that. And, I need to finish up that entrance a little bit more, build an archway probably over where the actual entrance is going to be, and do some detailing on that little tunnel. And one thing I also did with Manifest Destiny here was I shortened the train a little bit and colored it all one just big blue. And I'm kind of just going to end this video with showing you it run, because, I have nothing else to really show right now. With that being said, I am pretty much out of here. I'm no end screen with this stupid kind of rocky guitar sounding thing. I'm working on editing some, putting together a more kind of structured social media thing where I have a new Instagram account, and I'm really going to probably delete Twitter. I can't stand Twitter, and I really have this disdain for social media right now on a personal level. Something I just kind of want to use it as a tool to promote this content. So new Instagram coming. I will link that in a upcoming video. But with that being said, I'm out of here. I'm very tired. Need to encode this, upload it, and all that good stuff. And right now is where you would see the end screen video, and it'll tell you to go check out my other videos. But, yeah, I'm out. Have a good night, you guys. Love you all. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.